Yo, what's up, Bob here? Welcome to The Hang, episode 2. This is my spot for informal discussion on records, stereo gear, guitar-related items. This week we're going to get into a record that I've been listening to quite a bit. You see, a few months back, Dom from Seeking a Thread was on Instagram, that's right, I'm over there too, talking about this record and how great it was. What record am I speaking of? Yeah, Miles Davis's Big Fun. Iconic artwork. Looks really familiar to another one of his records, right? That's right. Same kind of art as On the Corner. As you can see, we have those on the corner type characters here on the back. Full on Miles in the gatefold. And this is a very difficult record to get without a bunch of ring wear on it. Mine's got a little, but I try to mitigate that by slipping the records behind the jacket. This is a fantastic sounding record. Mine is a Pittman pressing. When Dom showed this record, I pulled it and set it on the floor over there, and I finally got around to listening to it. And boy, oh boy, I immediately noticed how huge the bass is on this. Stereo field is absolutely insane. We'll get into that in a minute. This was recorded about 3 months after Bitches Brew, so it shares a lot of the same personnel. Kind of a who's who of jazz artists of the time. You know, Herbie Hancock, Ron Carter, Billy Cobham, Jack DeJohnette, Chick Corea, John McLaughlin. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Incredibly skilled players playing at the tip top of their abilities. This is a fantastic sounding recording. A lot of care was taken while making this record. A union between Miles and producer Tio Macero. They did a lot of overdubbing and kind of cutting and pasting, chopping, if you will, on this record. Things that are commonplace these days, but at the time were probably viewed kind of gimmicky, I would say. As soon as you put it on, it has that trademark mid-70s Miles sound. It's just kind of ambient, it's floating, it's huge sounding, spacious thing where things are moving around the soundstage. You hear the hi-hats over here, then you hear them over here. The guitar is coming up through the middle. In particular, there's some very fuzzy guitar sounds on here that are backwards, are heavily manipulated at the very least from McLaughlin. This is just an incredible sounding record. Beautiful, beautiful album. Kind of slept on, underrated. People don't hardly talk about it. And it is amazing. Like I said, it is done from the same period as this record. This is also from the Jack Johnson On the Corner sessions. We all know these two records. They're incredible. Of course, Big Fun is on that typical Columbia label, 360 Columbia label. Mine is a Pittman, and it sounds fantastic. Get the cleanest one you can, and you won't be sorry. It is a fantastic piece of work from Miles. It's sort of similar to Bitches Brew, but instead of having two complete bands just going at it at the same time, Miles was picking and choosing characters from those bands and making new compositions. It's really a artful piece of work from Miles Davis. Next. Semi-recently, I've had this pedal for a while, but I thought I might show it today because it's an interesting piece of guitar-related gear. If you're not into guitars, I understand, but check this out, because reverb is a big deal in the audio world, and how you get your reverb is, an interesting point. You see, there's very few types of analog reverb. You have spring reverb, plate reverb, that's where there's a big plate that's rattling around. Obviously reverb from large spaces, but when you don't have a large space available, which a lot of modern recording musicians don't have a super huge reverb chamber at their disposal, you might get something like this. This is the Chase Bliss Audio CXM 1978. This is roughly based around a 70s lexicon unit and sounds very much like that. Has these quote-unquote flying faders. Several different options you can toggle down here. Room, plate, hall. These are types of reverb. It's kind of a desktop unit, but you could put it on your board if you wanted to. It has these kind of wooden sides on it. Very nicely made. Mine's got some fur here on the bottom because I'm increasingly furry these days. Mine is number 4034. Rather expensive piece of kit here. That said, pretty nice. It is, in fact, running digital algorithms with an analog pass through. So, really neat. I used it a little bit on our newest recordings that we've been tirelessly working on, but it's not on every track or anything, but it is on some of it. And it's a beautiful sounding reverb pedal. I will play it a bit for you and let you hear it. Is it worth the money that they want for it? Yeah, probably. I mean, it's really great. I'll probably keep this around just for the sake that it can be used on the tracks, after the fact, during the fact. It's a very useful piece of gear. The Chase Bliss Audio CXM 1978 reverb. Anyway, next week I will probably choose one of the 3 vinyl tags to do. I'll probably choose one of the 2 with less questions rather than the one with Rob's with the 20 questions, because that's just a lot of video to make. And I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But my vinyl tag is probably coming next week, so stay tuned for that. I've got some other cool things coming at you in 2024. Probably another big change to my stereo. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, something's coming. All right, so until we meet again, that's right, folks. Bob out. It's okay.